Okay, so let's go ahead and actually reorganize your study guide now that it's actually on Notion. And in order for us to go ahead and do this, the next thing is I will show you how to go ahead and put together your very own Claude tutor inside a Claude project. But first things first is we want to go and recognize, hey, if we have a few major areas here. What you're going to notice in the official study guide is you're going to have the following. You're going to have scenarios, you're going to have domains, you're going to have the vocab, you're going to have the sample questions, you're going to have some prep exercises, and then you're going to go ahead and actually have the practice exam. If we studied the PDF, here's what you need to know, not just for yourself, but when you're training people out there, is that this content in curriculum was created, crafted, and produced by technical people, members of technical staff, to be very specific, from Anthropic, which is the biggest player right now in the game, for other people that also have a technical background, that are pretty AI proficient. For you to understand this order in the way that it is laid out right now, and to think you're going to be able to pass on your first attempt, is a non-starter. It is not possible. But what we can do here is, can we reorganize the information so that it works for you coming from a non-technical background, giving yourself about 4 weeks to go ahead and pass? I think so. I give myself 4 weeks. Honestly, I'm about like 2 weeks in. If you've been tracking my whole learning journey, which is also another reason why I decided to go and build in public, I've largely been at this for about 2 weeks right now, and I followed this thing pretty much to the T. The first thing that it's telling me to do is read all the scenarios, then the task statements, then you focus on the vocab, then you work on the sample questions, and then you work on the exercises, then you work on the preparation requirements, and then you actually take the practice exams. Okay? And then, like, the final week, you're finding the weak spots to go out there and pass. Right? The gap is that the modules never ask what, like, you need to understand, fundamentally speaking, you need to be able to put together a game plan that's going to help your brain mass aggregate and understand a highly critical thinking required exam in less than a month. Not exactly simple, not easy, also not impossible. So why not the vocab first? Because vocab without the context is just a list of words. You will memorize, is retrieval, but you don't have context. So now that we've been able to put together everything here, it's time for us to now understand, okay, so what is a scenario versus what is a domain? We need to have that understanding before we go ahead and move on to vocabulary. But just know this, before we even get to this part of the game, we need to go and put together our Claude tutor. As you can see, all of this here, if you've ever worked with Claude, you'll know that this graphic is generated by Claude. You're gonna have to make Claude work for you. So before we even get started on any of the other stuff, you're gonna have to know, let's put together a Claude tutor that's gonna actually be able to help you out.